Team 5. Just wanted to jump on to show you some modelled work and a waggle, what a good one looks like for your geography project for this week. Please bear with me, I'm going to try and snip some videos together to give you my starting point, so my mind dump, getting my ideas, jotting some notes down, and then the latter part of the video we will hopefully be able to show you how I intend for it possibly to be presented. Now, by all means, it's a project page. If you want to set it out in a specific way, I'm absolutely supportive of that. As long as you've got the information in there, that's fine. But if you need a little bit of support or / guidance of where to go with your next idea, please keep watching. Good luck. Okay, so first up, bearing in mind I've asked you to think about the physical geography of Europe, I've had a think about what the physical geography may be, and therefore we need to distinguish that there are two types of geography. There is physical and human. Now we are focusing on the physical geography, which is the natural side of geography. So we are considering the climate zones, the biomes and vegetation belts, rivers, mountains, volcanoes and earthquakes, and finally the water cycle. So to confirm, you are going to be focusing on these 6 areas of physical geography within Europe. For this stage of the project, as you can see, I've used a large sheet of paper. Please consider using a double-page spread in your exercise books. I have partitioned my page off into 6 areas which reflect the 6 features of the physical geography. So as you can see, we have got the climate zones, rivers, volcanoes, earthquakes, biomes and vegetation, mountains and water cycle. I have used them as subheadings, I've underlined them, and then at the top left corner I have jotted down the date. I did do this last night, so apologies that it's not today's date. So moving forward, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to walk because I don't know how to do that. So let's look at climate zones to start with. So for my mind dump, what I would like you to do, or what I would strongly suggest doing to start with, is to jot down some initial thoughts and ideas that you have, because that'd be a really good way to steer your project forward. So for example, my climate zone question was, does the entire European continent belong within the same climate zone? So with that, I'm considering whether actually there may be more than one climate zone, and if there are, what are they and where do they relate to on the globe? All right, so moving on to my rivers, please can I just strongly suggest that obviously if you have your own questions to go with those, by all means use my questions, but I would expect to see additional ones as well as. So for rivers, I'm looking at size actually. So for one of my questions, I wanted to know what the largest river was, and moving further with that, which countries does it flow through? Which countries has the most rivers in Europe? And then finally, which river is the widest? Volcanoes and earthquakes. This is an exciting one. I really liked this one. So I had lots and lots of questions. But again, I think for this stage, I would work between 3 and 5 questions, just so that you have a balance of information across your project. You don't want one of your features to almost overweigh the others. So volcanoes and earthquakes, moving on to my water cycle, mountains, and then finally biomes. Now biomes, I just want to focus on a little bit more than the others, because actually I had to really think carefully about the biomes and vegetation belts, because automatically I assumed, think about biomes, we are looking at not necessarily the climate, but it's the flora, it's the plant area growth, habitat almost within an area. So automatically I thought of the rainforest, I thought of the desert. So it was quite a tricky one to think about for Europe. But having done a little bit more research, there is lots and lots of really juicy information. So please take your time on that one. Bear with it and you'll find some wonderful ideas. Again, thinking about the questions I wanted to ask, I wanted to know how many biomes there were in Europe, because as I said, automatically it wasn't a natural thought that I had. I did find, so a little handy hint here, I found something called the deciduous forest. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. If you're stuck for somewhere to go, have a look at that one. And then moving on more to the vegetation belts, I was really considering the purpose of the vegetation and what types of vegetation there are across Europe, whether they vary depending on whether we're looking at Northern and Southern Europe. So please have a little look at that one as well. Now, I will put a screenshot of this sheet on, hopefully following this video, just because I'm aware that unless you zoomed in, you're not going to be able to read the questions that I have put on. Now, thinking about the next process of the project from this stage, what I would do would be to take off all of the post-its or the questions and replace them with carefully thought out and edited paragraphs giving me your findings. Now, as I said, it is a project page, so I'm not just expecting writing. Looking at a project page with writing can be a little dull, so I know how wonderful you all are at your drawing and your labelling of diagrams, so please, please, please feel free to either draw, you can print off pictures, as I said, label some diagrams if you can find some really lovely ones, and I'm really excited to see them. I hope you really enjoy this project, and I will see you soon. Good luck.